Hello, myself Sunil Ramkrishnan. Basically, today we are going to discuss about the formula word. That is basically we are discussing, and in this basically we have not started the PMP formula attributes and of the formulas basically, which are which basically we have not taken yet basically. So today basically it's the part 39 basically till 13 8 part we have already discussed, and in this 39, basically, we are going to discuss a little bit about the cyber security, yes, cyber departments. Basically, they says that we are tracking each and everything, so each and every. As for example, they have tracked some. They have kept one security that is basically some illegal words basically, like for example in India, if anybody search Pakistan word, then basically that creates issue in India. Basically they keep, then that time basically the Indian security cyber group basically um, tracks them, and they keeps they basically issue the tickets also. Basically issue means my by chance, basically if they feel that it's something doubtful, basically then they create the file also. Basically file means basically in detail, basically they will go with that person basically. Then basically, for example, in Pakistan, basically if you search India keyword, then that basically creates issue in the Pakistan basically. So basically it's a old conflict. Basically we don't want to go inside the thing. Basically here basically we are discussing the basically conflict words basically. And on the base of conflict words, basically cyber security says that it's a crime basically. So just see basically if you search for any keywords in a in browser or any Google search, that basically creates crime basically. And in real basically what are the things happening, that basically not doesn't matter anything. So here basically we are discussing about the search engine. Basically if you search any keywords, that time basically cyber groups gets the alert basically. So basically if you are doing any search engine, that time, in short basically whenever you are using the internet, that time basically when many departments are connected with you basically, that you can say, like cyber security department are also there, then security departments are there, then basically crime departments, cyber crime departments are there. So like this basically internet departments are there, basically which internet you are using, which if you are using a mobile internet, then basically mobile company come and get touch. They are also getting they are also touch with you. Like this basically each and every groups gives the alert basically. If you are searching then word like that are you are not supposed to search basically, then basically each and every creates an alert basically, and they do the detailed inquiry basically why you have searched this word basically. So up to this level, basically, authentication cyber security do basically, because they say that we can't miss each and every, and we basically can't miss basically any of the aspects basically, any of the basically we can say conditions basically, because they says that anything can happen from any of the condition basically. So basically, cyber security group says that we have to keep track of each and every keyword basically. For example, you have searched something, any character in the Google, sorry, in any of the search engine basically, then basically they keeps that track also basically. Like this basically that does not get issue. There is no issue related to this, but basically these are also getting tracked basically. So up to this level the tracking happens, but basically if you search some certain words basically which are not basically comes into legal words basically, then basically they raise a ticket issue and they do the certain inquiries basically. What but the person who has searched the word, he does not know basically that the file has raised, the ticket has raised against him in the cyber security basically. So if cyber, because why this happens basically, that I will tell. Because it might possible that he might have searched Pakistan keyword for that to search, so just check the spelling. That is also possible, eh? So basically like this basically each and every inquiry are done by the cyber security group. Because I had taken one example. If you are sitting at the computer, your images also are scanned basically, if you have the webcam or not, you don't have webcam. That time basically previously the computer basically were does not having the webcam, basically that time the webcam does not exist. That time also your image was getting tracked basically. So up to that level security is there basically, that was that time basically. So now basically it's a totally different world. So now it's a high tech security basically, you can say. So basically they search that why you have searched that Pakistan word. So basically then they go into detail of that person basically. Like this basically if they feels that the person basically who has searched, he don't know anything. So the cyber group basically do the inquiry basically why he has searched the Pakistan word. Then basically if they feel that there is no relation between some there is no basically relation between, there is no related to anything crime or anything related to the Pakistan India and the conflict basically, or the relationship between the each and everything basically. Like this basically there is no issue basically. So then basically they give the green signal basically that he is okay, there is no problem. He has searched Pakistan word just for some spelling basically. So like this basically they came into conclusion that like this basically there are many words in this world basically, which are basically telling that has came into they basically are into conflict basically. So whenever you search that word basically, that time basically the issue basically get raised and the ticket log get raised, the cyber security get raised, many crime department gets ticket basically. So each and everything basically are getting raised. So basically it's automatically ticket get raised basically. You can say it's a log alert also, this can you can say. So log alert means it's like a ticket only. Like this basically the cyber security gets into picture. Then basically they do the verification, and if they feel that basically here basically the person who has searched, he don't know anything. Again I am repeating basically. Like this the person basically who has searched the word, he don't know anything, and he basically keeps his life as a normal. But the cyber group basically keeps on inquiry basically why he searched this word basically. Then basically the set of inquiry happens, and then this basically is everything is computerized basically, that this person has searched this word. So just imagine basically you can't search, you should know basically which word you want to search. That also basically nowadays it's basically very, so basically to sitting in the internet basically it has become very tough life basically. It's a very tough basically, you can say, by sitting in the internet. If you are searching any words which are basically not legal word, then basically that time basically you get a ticket raised basically. That time basically when the tickets has raised, and that time basically some group basically do the ban also of that person basically. Few group, few country basically, you can say few country do the ban also basically. Ban means he's nothing, not a single work is supposed to happen basically. If he has applied for any card related issue, if he has applied for any bank related to open a bank account, then basically everything gets stopped for the few time basically. And then basically when the issue gets clear, that time basically he gets the green signal, and then basically his work gets starts with. So up to this level basically few countries do the task, do the inquiry. So basically it's very tough to sit in the internet also, because cyber security has taken everything as a so toughly basically, you can say. I added this word toughly word basically. Toughly means basically you can say it's very tough to sit in internet also nowadays. So basically, I have taken one example also of the sales industry. Basically, if you are searching one jeans pant, basically, and if you are don't want it, you thought that basically I don't want to purchase the jeans pant from Amazon or Flipkart, then basically why you have not purchased, that inquiry happens. I know n number of inquiry gets creates basically, you can say. Sometimes basically say if the customer is very big basically, then they raise a file only basically, that why that customer has not purchased the jeans basically. So just imagine basically to sit in internet also nowadays, it's very tough basically, because each and every things are getting tracked, each and every things are getting tracked basically, because the cyber security has came into picture. And cyber security has created their world like that you can't search a single illegal word also. If you are searching illegal words, then basically detailed inquiry happens, that why you have searched this word basically. So up to this level basically you can say the normal life has become nowadays tough. And not only tough basically, but it's very tough, because if you are searching some keywords, that is just basically for some spelling, basically to know the some spelling. That time basically the few the cyber group has added this word as some sensitive word basically. So that basically the person don't know basically, then also the ticket has raised and the issue has raised. Then basically his work basically which was on, for example, he's applied for the job basically. That time basically his job gets also blocked basically. That no HR department is supposed to give him call. His number gets sometime blocks. So I don't know what the things happens basically when like this basically cyber security has basically taken this very tightly basically, you can say that even you are you will not get the interview call also. If you are getting interview calls, then basically you will be getting interview calls from the police department, cyber sales department. They basically do the verification. Sometimes basically they do the verification also whether you are that person or not. For that basically they especially arrange an interview, and then they tell that show me your Aadhaar card like this basically. Then that person will show you, then that person will basically show that Aadhaar card to cyber cell department, and the cyber cell basically checks the, yeah, is it's that person basically. If any some bad thing basically he has done, then basically they do, I don't know what which type of file they do basically. And like this basically cyber cell department is tough, very tough basically. Their life actually is very tough become. So basically if you give any punishment to certain group basically, then basically it's very tough life. So basically they have to take care of each and everything. They are basically doing the take care of themselves also. And like this basically the cyber security industry basically have lots of certificates also in the market basically. And like this basically many certificates also you have to clear basically if you want to join the cyber security, like cyber high court, cyber supreme courts, cyber cell department, cyber industry basically use. And so basically it's very tough, very tough to get the job in cyber industry also. That is also it's like that. So basically this is the 39th number, and next video basically we are going to see the 40th number of the formula of word basically.